Hey everybody, want to say a pleasant good morning to you. It is Saturday and we are here chatting, as we often do on a Saturday, with your girl Suzette Speaks, along with a very special guest. Her name is Dr. Tasha Russell. She is a doctor of clinical psychology and she will be a featured panelist this year at the Speak Women's Conference. It will be Saturday, March 16th at the Hollywood Hard Rock Hotel and Casino here in Florida.
Very nice.
So we want you to come out, we want you to check it out, and we want you to like and share this video. If you don't know about Speak Women's Conference, ladies and gentlemen, you are missing out. It will feature 25 women from all walks of life coming to tell you how to advance in business, advance in politics, advance in your personal life, and deal with issues that women have across the board. So we want to invite each and every one of you to get your early bird ticket now on Eventbrite. Okay, enough of the plug. We're here to talk women as we do within the Speak movement. We have meetups, we have brunches, and we do chats also on Facebook Live. So we hope you will like, comment, and share. And we're going to introduce now, like I said, one of our speakers, Dr. Tasha, Dr. T, whatever you like to call her.
Yes.
And she's going to tell you a little bit about who she is.
Hi everyone, good
Welcome.
morning. I'm Dr. Tasha. I am the president of the Association of Black Psychologists down here at the South Florida chapter. I'm looking forward to being in this conference talking about specifically authenticity, and we'll get into that. However, my brand is DriveBy Therapy. You can go on the website, drivebytherapy.org, or even follow me on either Dr. Tasha on IG or Facebook.
What I love about Dr. Tasha, she didn't hesitate to jump on board. She has quite the following here in South Florida.
Oh boy.
And I love the fact you were born in LA.
Moved here from Los Angeles.
Moved here from, okay, tell me your story.
I'm from Michigan, and I moved here from Los Angeles after I got my doctorate.
Awesome. Okay, and she's a graduate of Spelman
College.
Hello.
Yes.
And so what made you decide to come to South Florida?
Okay, so the sun.
Oh, okay.
The
it was
sun
freezing.
in Spanish. The sun in Spanish. I knew that I would be able to use my Spanish.
¿Tú hablas español?
Sí,
Okay.
yo hablo español.
Okay, so Doctora Tasha to some of you.
Yes.
So find her on social media at Doctora with an A, Doctor with an A,
Yes.
Tasha. All right. So check her out and check out her website, drivebytherapy.org. Okay. So what kind of clients do you help? And tell us what are some of the common issues that you see among women.
Okay, so I definitely work with individuals and families, and I do group therapy as well. It's anything from grief counseling, addiction, family interventions that you may need, anxiety, depression, and specifically unresolved issues that mainly come up in relationships that we need to go back into our childhood because we get stuck.
Okay, you said a mouthful, and I know a lot of you said, yep, that's me, check. So one thing we want to uncover at Speak, Women's Empowerment Conference, is the angle of authenticity. I think a lot of people walk around this earth not able to express their true self. For whatever reason, we have decided to don a mask of with which we think we need to survive, A, and to thrive, B. And I want to encourage people. I know personally, I've been on this journey to kind of openly become more true to me and what I want and who I really am. And whether people love me or not, it is what it is. Either you love me, have me, or you don't have me, but that's okay. I'm going to be me. So what prevents people from being true to themselves in relationships, particularly friendships? I see a lot of people, when they come in a room, it's like, hi, how are you? I'm fine. I'm great. Wonderful. Highly blessed.
Yes.
What is that?
And the cheeks hurt.
Yes. And
because
you're like,
they're faking their smile.
something is happening with this person, and I'm not sure why.
So let me tell you, that would be the fear of judgment, possibly the fear of rejection.
And I love the way Dr. Tasha is taking notes. Okay, this is me
absolutely.
getting
drive-by. This should drive-by right here. This is how it works. This is quick.
And what I love about it, and let's give her a plug, DriveBy Therapy is called DriveBy because you go to your clients.
Absolutely.
So wherever you are in the South Florida region, give her a call.
Literally.
Because
from Okeechobee to Kendall, from Wynwood, yes.
So she's all over. So literally, you don't have to go to her office. She will come and see
Absolutely.
you. So we were talking about the fear of judgment and the fear of not being accepted.
Yes.
Particularly among women, I think we have this pressure to have it all together. I don't know if our mothers gave it to you. I know my mom did. Or if it was always, I don't know, something that you wanted to put your best foot forward. Society needs to see that you are a competent professional, that you don't have any cracks in that armor. Why is it that we are not as accepting even of others. We might want to feel accepted.
That's true.
But a lot of times we are judging the other person, particularly other women judge other women pretty harshly. Why do we do that?
But usually from what is in us that's insecure. So always remember, like the minute that you hear someone, oh, she thinks, really? Because she just walked in the room. Maybe you think she's cute, or you wish that you looked like her. But you started with she think. No, you think. Just own it.
Yeah.
And then once you identify the insecurity, bring it to therapy. Do you know what I mean? Bring it to your girlfriends. Have you ever wondered why after 30 years old these couple of hairs grow out? Talk about it. If we don't talk about it, right, then the other, it's like, oh, I think it's just me. But the other one says, girl, at least wait till you get, right? Grandma would say, wait till they get gray.
Exactly.
And so if we could just start owning the things that we're possibly insecure about, then maybe the others around us will then own their stuff, and then we kind of feel like we belong.
Yes.
You know?
So that's one thing that the Speak movement is based around being transparent, being open, because I can't tell you how many people come to, whether it's a brunch, a meetup, a conference, and say, wow, this is like singing my story, this is opening my eyes up to a different angle and different perspective of what I thought was just a me thing.
Wow.
And people realize really quickly that it's not. Talk a little bit about, I think, which is a plague in our modern day society: loneliness, anxiety, and depression. Just talking even among my friends and my friendship group, a lot of people struggle with these three things. And I do think it's much more common now when people are so spread apart, not really necessarily in the same city as their immediate family. We have a very nomad culture. People are, always moving. And you don't
Less interaction.
You don't have a lot of, besides going to work, there are not a lot of places where you can really truly connect with people. Why what can we do about it, and what are some of the results from this type of lifestyle where people are oftentimes isolated in their apartment or their home and wanting to reach out, but it's like you're too tired, you've been working all day, or you end up just eating and watching TV like all day? Like how do you
by yourself? So I would say the first thing is to make sure that you start with, wow, I'm not fine. I'm actually not fine being alone. I'm not fine looking at Wheel of Fortune again at 7 o'clock by myself.
Not in Jeopardy at 7:30.
Okay. And I mean, you got the whole lineup of what you're gonna do, and then you're scrolling while you're watching TV, and so in your mind you actually know what's going on in the world, but no one really knows what's going on with you. That's actually the problem. So if you could get outside of yourself, right? That's the answer to your question of loneliness. And just actually first say that I need someone. Not even just romantically, but you may need a girlfriend. I need to talk. When's the last time you actually said, man, I need to talk? Without worrying about, whoever is on the other line to say, well, what's wrong with you? Well, no, how about I just need to talk? How about that? How about I need a hug?
Right.
Sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes that safe touch can change everything. And if we can learn that vulnerability is sexy, then we can kind of do some things. And it's okay, because your vulnerability will match someone else's vulnerability.
Yeah. So I think you said so much there that is really powerful. Oftentimes, just that moment that you expose yourself, and again, I don't want you to cry on your boss's shoulder, and it doesn't necessarily mean he's or she is the right person. But when you're in a safe space among intimate friends, there has to be a moment where you really can be you, and you really can hopefully feel safe. And again, that takes time and builds trust and all those things. But once you do find that, I find it very difficult to stay in friendships with people who I know want to be seen a certain way, but really, just like everyone else, has some kind of challenge in their life. And we got to be very open with one another as women. And I think to do that, like you said, you have to be comfortable with you. You have to already have seen yourself kind of as an imperfect human being, but on the way to becoming the type of human being you want to. So once you give yourself grace, you can give other people grace. But oftentimes we don't start with ourselves. We start externally expecting of others what we don't expect.
That's real. Now, what's interesting about what you're saying is, to get there, we have to first then acknowledge, where did we get the idea of women are like this? Or that I bet you women think this of me. Let's examine the mother-daughter dynamic, and then let's just not go to mother and my dynamic, mother-daughter. Let's go to what was heard as a daughter, as my mother. What was her experience as a daughter to her mother, right? And then how does she actually talk to her sisters? Are they all sitting around talking about, girl, I like your hair? Or are they all talking about, how you doing? I noticed that you and your husband don't look as happy as you did last year. What's wrong with saying that? Or, baby, I noticed that you're gaining some weight. Do you want to walk with me? I go in the morning. So it's this level of let's just talk about it. But it came from somewhere that you think that you can't actually be honest with the other.
I think that's so powerful. I think patterns are learned.
Oh gosh.
Emotional patterns are learned.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we don't even realize we've learned them.
Oh,
and we really have to take the time out and kind of get quiet and reflect, either on your own, maybe journal.
Yes.
Or with a professional, to really kind of discover, ooh, that hit a nerve. That's where that came from. Because sometimes we can't see it. I know I'm great at seeing other people's issues.
Oh.
But sometimes I see my own, I need help. I'm like, oh wait, that's me. Let me not focus on others, because oftentimes they're a mirror. We can really use what we hear from other people in love with grace. To hold on, get here first, get inside ourselves first, inside our mind, inside our thinking, inside of our own emotional history, to see where it's coming from. Let's talk a little bit about anxiety. I know for a fact, even in planning a conference that I'm doing in March 16th, come on ladies, we want to see you there. There are so many things that you think about. What can go wrong? Where am I, will this come from? Will I have enough money to do that? What are some of the steps? I'm talking about even in day-to-day life, not even planning a big event, but in day-to-day life, people struggle with anxiety. I didn't realize how much, I could literally go to bed midnight and it's 2. And my day is running through my head, but also what might be is running through my head. What can we do to help kind of alleviate some of this?
So for those that say, oh no, I don't have anxiety. Okay, let's go through a little checklist first of all. Let's ask, how do you sleep? How do you have problems falling asleep or staying asleep? Because both are probably some pieces of either anxiety or depression, right? How do you eat? Right? What times do you eat? What do you eat? How often do you eat? Do you always find yourself more at the refrigerator than at your desk if you work from home? Okay. Like there's some anxiety there. What's your nails looking like, right? I remember when I would bite my nails and say, I'm fine. How about that? Not to go to a salon, but just to figure out, what are you doing with your nerves? What do you do? Do you fidget? What's going on within you? Now, I'm wondering, my question would be, with this anxiety that you actually probably have, that you don't acknowledge, let's figure out, do we actually say to ourselves, man, I'm overwhelmed? I say that to myself at least maybe every other week, and I say it to my steering wheel. I'm not pretty big on like yelling at people, but I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. Just say it. Say it to the steering wheel. Just say it, and then once you say it, you actually feel a level of relief, because you're not telling yourself that you're fine. It's okay. I'm overwhelmed. I have a conference to build. I have a business, a practice,
and everything else going on with your life plus this. And acknowledging that's a lot. And then I feel overwhelmed, and that's okay.
And it's okay.
And I acknowledge it. Yes. I think a lot of us want to bury that feeling and think something is wrong with that feeling. That in some way we're not enough, or we don't have what it takes. But it's just that the human being now in today's society has more thrown at it. Like, I don't know when we were running from saber-toothed tigers, if it was better, or if it's now with all the different micro pressures
that are going
that
on.
we don't really acknowledge that are stressors in our lives. That I think, like you said, half the battle is just acknowledging it, and
really
then
is.
maybe creating a plan of how to get help. Asking for help is a huge deal. A lot of women are afraid to ask for help. I finally have. Thank you, Lord, for the ladies who have showed up and really have helped me to kind of balance out this huge to-do list. But I do think a lot of women, we gotta get stuck in the I have to do it, me, myself. I have to make sure my kids are perfect. I have to make sure my husband's happy, or my wife. I have to do all the things that make the world go round. But what about who's taking care of you? It all starts with your health, your mental wellness, your feelings, your happiness. And if we could kind of start there first and allow ourselves permission to have that.
Because we are the thermostat in our household. That's something that I talk to when I talk to couples, as well as those who are struggling with their, like, in family therapy, that we are the thermostat. So think about that when you go up or down, like the actual household is going to mimic that. I do know it's a lot of pressure, but it's actually a powerful place to be. That actually, we have to get it together. We have to get it together on purpose, kind of intentionally to say, am I all right? Let me check in. Either with a therapist, either with a girlfriend, either with a sister.
Right. So it's important to do those things, to make sure you're checking in, that you're not isolating yourself and feeling as if you're the only one in this. Because there are other women, I'm sure, once you're vulnerable enough. Sorry, we got a little, okay, we're good. So I also, before we sign off, I want to talk a little bit about depression.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people suffer from depression and don't know that they have depression. Particularly people of color, especially. I think we kind of always, I don't know, we push this off to a side. We're like, oh, we're in a funk. We're feeling blue. but we don't really acknowledge that this could be something clinical, and that it can actually affect your life profoundly. How does someone know that? I mean, I know I have my hormonal moments, hallelujah, during the month and whatnot, but how do you know? I like cry one day a month. I'm talking about a good cry.
A good cry?
One day a month.
That's not bad,
but one day I'm like, oh God, what is happening?
Why?
I don't need to do this. I don't need to. And then I get it together, and then I'm fine.
That's good. That's healthy.
Once a month. It's always like a, and then I wake up, I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's healthy.
Was that really?
No, it's okay. So what are the triggers? That bring out depression? What can we do about the depression?
Yes. What would you say is most common that you see that people don't realize that they're actually really suffering from depression?
Okay, so let's first go into the negative self-talk. You can mainly figure out where you are by what you are telling yourself. So in psychology, it's called a cognitive schema. So what's your schema? I'm not good enough. They don't see me. No one listens. Like, it's literally like the way it's like almost like a record, like replaying in your head that you actually end up telling yourself.
Right.
Unfortunately, depending on where you come from, the conversation in your head may come from the negativity that you grew up around. So you're actually now replaying the same voice, father, mother, brother, that then is telling you that I'm not enough. And you actually believe it. And now we have to work on that. That's what's going into the world. That's what's on the couch. You know, that's actually what's going on when no one's around. So that's really the question of, like, how am I really doing right when no one's watching? Wow. So the negative self-talk can that can always give you a little insight.
And we talk about that at Speak, at our Speak meetups, because I know for a fact for years after I struggled, I didn't pass the bar exam the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And as a person who naturally felt, I was gifted and could naturally progress to the next level, no problem, level, no problem. There was a huge, breaks, on what I thought was my progression. And for a long time, I would say for probably 2 whole years, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to deal with, I lost friendships because people didn't understand how I ghosted the friendship, and it really wasn't about them. And I look back and I wish that I had more of an awareness or someone to help me work through what I couldn't see was really a depression.
It's true. It's unfortunate that they left, though, because that was like your growing process. There's something beautiful about becoming broken. And I know all about that, even in grad school, when you want to be enough and you're not, and you're kind of comparing yourself to others in the room, in the office, in the classroom. And so at the end of the day, I would say that brokenness, if we could actually almost embrace it. Because it's something about, it's almost like when you crack a mug and it may be your favorite mug and you want to pick it up and you pick up the pieces, but maybe you want to create a new mug. Sometimes we go back to create the old, but no. Let's create a new one with the pieces that you actually want. And it's actually, and keep that little crack in there. Don't make it to where no one sees it anymore. Keep a little crack to remind yourself of where you came from, because it's nothing wrong with acknowledging what made you be broken. I love that you acknowledge what you didn't do right the first time.
Absolutely. And I try to encourage women, again, be real with the other woman. Stop with the superwoman facade, because all of us, we're holding each other to unrealistic standards. No one really knows what they're doing. No one really has it all together. Once we start, I'm talking about from the PhDs to the folks who are working, living jobs and CNAs. I don't care what level you're on. People, especially women, can be so hard on each other.
Oh, yes.
And we really got to kind of break that cycle, starting with you. So, Dr. Tasha, we're almost out of time. I really want to have you drop your social media handles and your website again so people know where to find you.
Oh, well, that's Dr. Tasha, DoctoraTasha. That's on social media. And then my website, DriveByTherapy.org. But if you are in South Florida or want to travel by next Thursday, February 7th, I'll be at Gigi's Music Cafe, and we're going to be doing a talk show. Me and a stand-up comedian, Chris Priester, the teacher. The topic is, do your good or bad daddy issues get in the way of your relationships? So we're going to ask, how do they show up, good or bad? There are both.
So check her out. She does this live, it's so cool, live talk show. Once a month. DriveByTherapy.org is her website. I cannot wait to hear more from you at the Speak Women's Empowerment Conference, Saturday, March 16th. Get your tickets now on Eventbrite. Well, thanks for spending this time.
I feel like we should cheer.
We forgot about the good stuff. Cheers to you. Cheers to you, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers to Speak Women's Conference. Can't wait to see you there. All right. Have a beautiful week. We'll see you soon. Suzette Speaks and Dr. Tasha signing off.